This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another exciting Starbound mod spotlight. Today we are taking a look at a mod called Vanilla Miners. What does it add? It adds miners to the game. Honestly, this is another one of those mods where it adds something to the game that should have kind of already been there in some shape or form, and it fills a much needed spot in Starbound. These miners that you see here, these are all that it adds, and each of them collect a different type of resources and a certain amount of resources every so often, and then you can just collect from them. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this mod, how you get each of these and all that other good stuff. First off, there is your entry-level little miner right here, which you see, and you can get this one from accessing your basic crafting menu. It is right here. It is the burner mining drill, and you can see that it's going to cost you 30 iron ore, 10 copper ore, 50 cobblestone, 100 timber, 20 core fragments, and 100 coal. It's kind of pricey, but due to the fact that it gives you ores continuously without you having to do anything once you place it other than just wait, that's not really bad for the cost. You're going to make that back in no time at all, and you can have as many of these as you want, constantly making resources for you, and you just run by and collect it like you do all of your other harvestable stuff inside the Starbound game. Let's take a look at how you get these. You are going to need your inventor's table for the higher tier ones, and if you type in miner or mining, you will see them, and you can see that with your base inventor's table, you can craft the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. So these are all tiered. The Mark 1 is tier 1, Mark 2 is tier 2, so on and so on. Mark blah 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 is kind of a pain in the butt, so we're just going to call them tiers. It's easier, tier 1, 2, 3, because for some reason Mark 1, Mark 2 is just, it's awkward to say for me for some reason. Anyway, on to it. So the inventor's table, base inventor's table, gets you tier 1, tier 2. Then if you go on to the top tier table, which is your architect's table, and you type in miner, you can see all of the different tiers of them here. They line up and correspond with the tiers of planets. So for example, your base one over here is going to be like your lush and your little baby planets and all that stuff, and your next tier up is going to be your iron and all that good stuff. And if you highlight over these and select them, they actually show you and tell you exactly what you are going to get. So for your tier 1, you are going to get iron, silver, and gold, also diamonds, and it drops 100 items per operation. Now this is 100 items total, not 100 items each. So you could get 5 gold one time, you could get 10 gold, you could get 4 diamonds, you could get no diamonds. It also drops blocks as well, so you could get some mud in there. That counts. If you get 50 mud, that counts as 50 items. So keep that in mind. The drop total is the total number of items you will get per operation, not the amount that you get per each item. Anyway, these are tiered as well as far as crafting. So for your tier 1, aka the Mark 1, you are going to need your burner mining drill, and then each one is tiered like that. So your Mark 2 is going to take your mining digger Mark 1, and so on and so on and so on, and they just equal. The next one that you build is going to need the previous tier's digger. So that's something to keep in mind as well, because these do get expensive. By the time it's all said and done, you're going to have all the resources that you invested in your base one clear up to each of these, clear up to your top tier one here, which is your super hostile tier 6 planets. And while we're on this one, let's go ahead and take a look at what that cost is for this top tier one. So you're going to need each of your top tier ores, as well as 5 batteries, 80 silicon boards, and 200 copper wire. That's relatively expensive, considering the Mark III is going to cost you 30 titanium bars, your tier 2 digger, your 18 silver bars, a bunch of cobble, a bunch of timber, 100 core fragments, 100 titanium, and 6 diamonds. You can see that the cost for this top tier one gets really expensive, but that's okay, because that's what we call balance. That means that this mod is not super OP and broken. Okay, let's go through each of these and take a look at what you get when you harvest them so you can get an idea of what harvesting these is like. Now these, like I said, these work just like any other harvestable in the game, like your fluffalos and all that other stuff. So if we take a look, you can see that we only got 6 coal from that one, but we also got some other random blocks in there. We did not get that. That was actually left over. So we didn't get a whole lot from it. Let's hit P a couple times, skip some time, and we'll try harvesting from that again. So we're gonna remove this coal here, and we'll just skip a little bit of time and let's harvest. You can see that time we didn't get any coal, but we got 12 copper, we got some cobblestone, some clay, and some dirt. So your base ones, I mean, like I said, it's not always going to get you one of each of the resources that it tells you it's going to get. As you see here from the base one, we should get copper, iron, and coal, as well as the blocks. Those blocks do count towards your total number of item slots, which is 30. Okay, let's go on to the tier 1. So this is equal to a tier 1 planet. And you can see that we got gold ore, 10 coal, 15 copper, and 10 silver. Not bad, not a bad little haul right there. Let's delete those and make room for our next one and take a look at the blocks. We also got some water, and looks like we pulled up some mud as well. Okay, on to the tier 2. You can see immediately we got oil and sand. Let's take a look and see about our ore production. So we got 20 iron, 30 silver, 40 tungsten, 10 coal, 40 copper, and 10 gold. Now these produce, like if you go over here and you look at each of these, so let's take a look at, you know, just this one here, and we click it and you see that it tells you that it's going to give us titanium and durasteel, but it's going to give you those and everything that each of these gives as well. It has a chance of dropping, so keep that in mind as we're going through here. All right, let's delete all of this stuff. All right, here we go. We're going to harvest it. So 30 titanium, 45 gold, 15 tungsten, 30 copper, and 60 coal. That is pretty decent. Not a bad haul for not having to do anything. Once again, these just continuously harvest, so you don't have to do anything and you're gonna get that. That may not seem like a lot to some people, but when you think the fact that you didn't have to do anything for it, it's pretty awesome. Okay, on to, what is this? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, on to the tier 4. So tier 4 got us 40 durasteel, 20 gold, 20 silver, 40 coal, 40 copper, and 40 titanium. And we also got some poison out of that. We got 40 poison, so that's handy for making those batteries or whatever else you want poison for. And we got 80 grassy rock. That's always fun to build with. Okay, on to the tier 5. Looks like we got some slush. And as far as items, we pulled a diamond out of that. We pulled 75 silver. You can see that the amount that we're getting per each of these is going up too. I mean, like we got 75 silver. That's a good chunk of silver, and 75 durasteel. Okay, on to the tier 6 one. Now this does have the option and could give us one of each of the top tier ores. Let's see here. Now, so we only got 2. We got the green one and the gold one. We also got some gold, some silver, and some copper. Now keep in mind, these numbers that we're pulling out here, 60, 60, 60, 30, whatever the other one was, that could have just as easily been 60 coal, but that's the price you pay for not having to go out and mine this stuff by hand. We also got some obsidian, some lava, some magma rock, and junk pile. So this last one here, this purple one, this is the moon one. This pulls moon resources. So if we hit E, harvest it, you can see that we got some liquid fuel, a bunch of moon blocks, moon dust, moon rock, and then we also pulled 25 of the solid fuel. If we come over here and look at it in the crafting table, you can see that it only holds 100 items, and this is what it takes to make it. So you're gonna need, it's got that breathing EPP in there. You're gonna need 1,000 liquid fuel and 250 of the solid fuel, plus a bunch of moon rock and moon dust and 5 diamonds. It's relatively expensive. Honestly, in my opinion, this is the only one that isn't really worth the cost that it's going to take. It's just as easy to go get that fuel. I mean, fuel is so easy to get a hold of. Okay, so that is not everything. Let's jump up to our ship. And as you can see here on the ship, you can place these on your ship as well, and they continuously work. How do they work when they're supposedly drilling? I don't know. It's magic. It's magic ship ore. Don't ask questions. Enjoy the mod. It's awesome. So we can harvest our little one, and we can just as easily, you can see that this one is full. The other thing that I like is that they have the little bars here to tell you that, to show you that they're full, and they tell you that they're full. Same with the little one here. So if we harvest it, it tells you that it's empty. If I skip a little bit of time, it tells you that it is filling, and you can see how far it is filling. I think that's a really handy feature. So I recommend checking out this mod if you want to know more about it. Check it out. It's freaking awesome. You're gonna love it. It's super handy. Like I said, it's something that should have been in the game already. I mean, maybe not this exact thing, but something similar. We have matter manipulators that can break down matter and reconstitute it. We should be able to auto mine. It's the future, people. And with that being said, I think that is gonna wrap up this video. But before I go, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for all of your support, as well as to all of the fans out there. Thank you all so much for all your awesome comments and support. You all are amazing, and I could not do this without you. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy and you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.